As we jump into the first game of the next series, Barles versus Villese in T90 Titans League Platinum. Barles is playing with Mayans. Villese is playing with Chatters. We're gonna see on the right hand side, the bull player get 50% extra food from herdables, in addition to 2 extra sheep underneath each newly built DC. So the 50% extra food from herdables is going to be especially impactful on a map like this, where there is so much sheep around the map. Besides that, we also see for Villese Civilization, free thumb ring, free Parthian tactics. You're going to have, in addition to all of that, 25% higher or extra attack when fighting from a higher elevation against enemy units, while for the team bonus, on the other hand, they get 2 extra line of sight on cavalry archer type units. Meanwhile, we're gonna see for Barles with the Mayans, when extra villager upon starting the game at the expense of 50 food, he gets 10, 20, and 30% cheaper archer units in the field castle and Imperial Ages, as well as 15% longer lasting resources. And for the Mayans, for the team bonus, they get a discount on walls, so they do come up cheaper. Here we go. Villese is going to collect the first board. The Barles move? I don't know. I don't think so. Now that I suspect that the tax authorities don't have a nasty surprise for me this winter, I feel good. Hey, that sounds great. Flying Dancer, and I hope everything keeps on going better for you. And thank you, Otis. You are correct indeed. Oh, Villese is getting some extra sheep over here in Barles. Barles so far has gotten a few herdables, but not too many. He's got 4 left over here. Let's take a look at Villese, and Vilese's got 5 left over here, plus he's getting 2 more, but it seems like Barles is going to try and get these. Oh, but he just moves the wrong side down the south over here, and Villese with the mind games done a really good job over here. Of course, Barles would be expecting the herdables to be moving towards Vilese's base at some point, so he's going towards his base right now, but Villese being the massive brain player he is, he actually sent the sheep over to the left hand side, and now he's going towards the south to get the sheep back to his base, and that is really good. Overall, that's going to be a total of 7 sheep that he's got right now, still left for grabs, and Barles is just trying to prevent the sheep from getting here. Meanwhile, he himself only has 3 sheep left for grabs, so that is 4 additional sheep already for Villese. If he does get away with this, though, but Barles is still trying to find them, though. He's still trying to find them, and he's not going to. Yeah, that's gotta be so frustrating for Barles. It's a guessing game, and we still have 2 additional sheep over here left for grabs, so it seems like those are going in favor of Villese as well. Oh my lord, this is incredible. For the Finnish player, getting 6 additional sheep is going to yield not quite 900 extra resources. He does get 50% extra food income from the herdables, but obviously some of that goes to rot, so it's probably going to be more like 800 to 750 extra resources compared to like 500, right? That somebody else will get on the same amount of sheep, but still, Villese is getting away with this. He is getting away with this as well, and he's in such a good spot. He's gonna have food for days without having to pay for a single farm. Barles, on the other hand, is going for the walls already. We haven't taken a look at the map generation yet, so let's go and do that. For Mr. Villese, what do we have? We have the main gold forward. It's got the secondary gold up in the north. The other secondary gold is going to be towards the southwest. Very far away, though, kind of around the woodland. And Barles is coming in with some militias. We will take a look at this in a moment, but let's take a look at the rest of the map generation. We have the main stone on the back, secondary stone on the right hand side. Now notice that he's already gotten the walls around the goal, right? So he's gonna be fine. He needs to get the walls around the wood over here, and because of the militia push over here, he will be forced into local walls around resources as opposed to full walls. But if you wanted to go for full walls, it shouldn't be too difficult. Just connect the golds and connect the woods over there. Here comes Barles, and it seems like he's going to run into the sheep. Is he? He's not going to. No, he does. And now he's going to try to take the sheep back. Well, what can he really do, though? He is running out of sheep already, and he started to make the transition to farm. So this is just going to prevent Villese from getting an obscene lead. But it's not as if Villese was kind of banking on these sheep. If Barles got these, he would just reduce the delta in sheep count between both these players by 2. But yeah, he cannot really take advantage of these anymore. So just going to try and keep them at bay. Yeah, and you know what? Villese could potentially go and collect them right now, I think. If he gets the walls up over here, he should prevent the sheep from walking away. But it seems like Barles is going to get those. In the end, it doesn't matter. He's probably just sending those to the corner of the map. It's unlikely that he's going to consume those. PLH is on the way for Barles as he went up on 30 population. This is going to be a Drush Fast Castle attempt. He's got the full walls already up as well, so it's a very, very greedy approach from Mr. Barles. And Villese, on the other hand, he doesn't really have right now the kind of pressure that he needs to prevent this from happening. He does not have villagers forward. He is only now starting to go for some of the archers. He doesn't really have too many. And yeah, it's not the best. Yep, sheep are just going to the corner. And Villese probably knows that. I don't think he's going to take the time to go and find those. He's got still plenty of sheep, so it's going to be fine. And Barles is under a little bit of pressure over here, but just the one archer from Villese won't do much of anything. And Barles should still be able to click out to the castle age if he wanted to. It's not going to be a straight fast castle, as I was expecting to see, but it's not going to take too long, right? Like, he's got the villagers, he's got the economy. He's gonna start going for the buildings. We see an archer range, so he can go for skirmishers and potentially a blacksmith, and that should be enough for him to click up to the castle age in the next 2 minutes or so. Villese, on the other hand, is defending himself quite successfully. Even though he did not end up getting extra sheep, he still does end up collecting from some of the extra one that he had gotten before. And we know, of course, that the Tatars, once they get to the castle age, if you start going for TCs, you will get additional herdables. So it's all good.
Shot it.
Barles is unlikely to get too much damage down with the militias anymore. Interestingly enough, Villese is not taking the time to get the walls that he needs to protect his entire base, though. He's just been going around local resources, but the militias are going to start striking over here again. Let's take a look if he can get any damage down. Barles, on the other hand, he's going up early to the castle age. And here come the militias. He's trying to target both resources at the same time. The villagers should be able, the lumberjail should be able to take the militia down, so Barles is gonna have to bail from here. And oh, the archer from Villese does take the militia down. We have 2 archers now for the bull player, and Barles, yeah, basically gets depleted of his 4 units. Stone walls coming out for Barles. Interesting. It's just gonna go for full economy over here with the Mayans. It can be really strong. There we go. Fantastic.
Ashike.
Here we go. Crossman upgrade on the way for Barles. Blocking arrow upgrade on the way for Barles as well. He's going for everything. He's coming in right now with the crossbows. Well, trying to anyway. Shouldn't be too difficult for him to start. Getting damage done after he breaches through over here. Is not really targeting the palisade though. It's just going to go after the wall line. Seems so. Yeah, and in the end, Villese did go for the walls that he needed. A few houses up in the north is good. And there we go. There we are. And the girls just get cleaned up from Barles and Villese. Villese is gonna be fine. Barles has gotten the second TC up, and by the amount of a head start that he got to the castle age, I was expecting him to go immediately for 2 additional TCs. Especially given that he had the stone walls coming up instead. Villese is on 2 TCs right now, and he is going for the 3rd TC, so it's going to be a very small difference in the end between both these players going for extra economy, and Barles kind of drops the ball over here, in my opinion, a little bit. You take a look at that. There was a 2-minute lead for... What am I talking about? Sorry. There was a 1-minute lead for Barles to get to the castle age. That could have been enough for him to get a bunch of additional villagers out. By the time Villese got to the castle age himself, of course, and started going for the extra TCs, Barles should already have built a significant lead for himself. And right now, he's got about 5 extra workers. And it seems like it's going to remain a consistent difference. And at the very least, though, Barles' civilization will still benefit from this by a lot. The Mayans being so cheap to work with and all that. Good defense. Scorpion for Barles. Villese. Handful of archers can't do too much with these units right now. Doesn't even have them all grouped up. And what resources is Villese actually saving or actually securing with these TCs? He's got the main gold already secured. He's got, well, the secondary gold on the right hand side, and the secondary stone are still very much exposed, right? And where's the other secondary gold? It's actually, yeah, okay, so that's what he's securing with the TC. It's hard to see because it's behind the dome, but he's got it. Meanwhile, for Barles, on the other hand, he does have the 2 additional TCs. With one, he is securing the stone. With the other one, he is securing another stone as well. But he does have 1 gold over here on the back that he's collecting from safely. And then the rest of the golds are going to be still very much exposed. So this is a possibility right now for Villese to get ahead very soon. Barles does not have too much gold left from these tiles over here, only about 1800. So if Villese is able to keep on putting pressure over here, roaming around with the crossbows, preventing Barles from getting access to this or this gold, that's going to put the Polish player in a very awkward spot, which is why Barles is going for stone, and I would imagine he's going to try and make a play for a castle so that he can secure some of the extra resources. Good defense once again for Barles with the Scorpion. He's going to end up pushing the crosses away, potentially even cleaning these up. He's got the villager coming up, and yeah, well done. Scorpion. The Scorpion's holding on though. Oh, but the villager goes down. Scorpion goes down still. A scout gets cleaned up over here, and a bunch of the archers do go down in the end. I think that was a pretty even trade overall, even if Barles definitely hurts. We're losing a villager much more so. But yeah, worker count seems to be about the same right now, and Villese has been able to catch up Barles. He's got a lot of extra idle TC. Well, maybe not a lot. He's got some extra idle TC time compared to Villese. Defensive castles on the way, unfortunately not really securing any of the extra resources for Barles, so Villese, in my opinion, is still in a very threatening position over here. He's got 14 crossbows. If he sends these forward and manages to keep on preventing Barles from getting access to these extra resources, that should put the Finnish player in a good spot. He has been collecting stone quite a lot himself as well, so if he were to go for a forward castle, the bull player could go for one over here. That wouldn't be the best location to deny either, but it's going to make both significantly harder for the red player to collect. We could see the castle a little bit closer, maybe to the left-hand side, so that he can deny this one, and then once he gets to the Imperial Age, given he's gonna go up faster, right? He can start going for trebuchets and take this castle down. However, on the right-hand side, he can also deny the main one, which in the event of Barles getting access to one of both remaining golds, he would certainly want to collect the main one, so Villese would do more damage by denying that one. There we go. There you go. Imperial Age is on the way for both these players, with Villese going there significantly earlier. He ended up going for a defensive castle in the end. He's got enough to go for yet another one. Well, Barles is already on 2 castles, producing bull archers, and going for the 3rd castle even. And this is a beautiful castle location for Barles. He was in desperate need of securing these resources, and now the gold's going to be safe. Yes. There we go. Imperial Age is here now for Villese. He's sending the villagers forward. It's gonna try and go for a forward castle somewhere. It just seems so late though, when he had the possibility of going for this earlier, but of course this was the safest choice between going for a defensive and an offensive castle in earlier stages. It was safer for him to go for a defensive one, so obviously low risk, low reward kind of play from Villese over there, but once again, we are now really witnessing a player that's going to take the highest risks in the game. Villese is, for the most part, very methodical. He is, for the most part, a very safe player. There we go. Yeah, and Barles is going to punish the higher risk castle over here by denying it, as we see Doubt remains with a smile on his face. Just looking upon the villagers from Villese go down one at a time in a parade of death. The castle is going to remain denied, and yes sir, yes sir. We have a little Keshik right now for Villese. Barles, on the other hand, has got chemistry coming up. He's got heavy power coming up. Here comes Villese once again. This castle. There are only 3 villagers, mind you. Oh boy, I think. Oh, no way! Once again, the castle is actually getting denied. Yes, sir. Oh my lord! That is the second time Villese tries to go for the castle, and this gets denied. We still have some plume archers over here, so Villese is still trying to get the castle up, but this time around, Barles is going to be there with the plume archers, and once again, that is another denial, and this is ridiculous already. Villese will send yet more villagers. Notice that he's not really sending too many at a time, but yeah, the castle is eventually coming up, right? It's a 92% or so right now. Barles is gonna start making a play for pikemen, right? It's got the pikeman upgrade, forging upgrade coming up right now, +1 attack, and yeah, Barles should know that the castle is coming up at this stage already, right? So I do find it somewhat interesting that he is still committing to plume archers so heavily, and he's not even considering going for trebuchets, right? He should expect the castle to be up already, and he's got 4 castles. At the very least, maybe producing 2 trebuchets at a time should be enough for him to go and take this one down, but he's not even going for it, no. Just going to be full pikemen and plume archers over here. And Villese, on the other hand, Villese seems to be sticking to Keshik as well. Very much so. As Barles is coming forward trying to get some pressure going, Villese is going to try to get the surround going against these units. So here come the Keshik. Yeah, but they cannot get the surround going because archers are too ZP. They are too quick. They just zoom past the army from Villese. Unfortunately, while Barles does manage to walk away with these plumed archers for the most part still pretty much alive, there is one downside to this though. Barles walking away indicates a lack of security, right, and a lack of confidence, so to say, and Villese on the other hand is gonna be the one calling the shots over here, dictating the pace of the game. Barles has been, for the most part, reacting to Villese's push, to Villese's play. And every time the Barles has tried to go forward, he's been able to get any damage down. Meanwhile, over here, while Villese goes forward, Barles is forced to defend himself, and he cannot really take the engagement right against the... Yeah, against the Keshiks over there. So game number 1 goes in favor of Villese. Wins up taking this one, and Barles on the other hand, Barles gets completely wiped out of game number 1. He's gonna have to try again in game number 2. We'll see what his home map was once again. Let's take a look at the achievements first. Better than 3 to 2 KD ratio for Villese. We have for economy. A stronger economy for Villese, collecting about 5,000 extra resources. Society, looking better for Villese as well. So not too much over here for us to take a look at this game. Let's go back. As we transition into the next game, we'll see Villese play with the Chinese and Barles play with Gujaras and Kilimanjaro as Villese with the Civilization. He's gonna play in the blue color on the left hand side, and he will get 3 extra villages upon starting the game at the expense of 200 food and 50 wood. Besides that, the Civilization of Villese is going to grant him with 5 extra line of sight on TCs and 5 higher population support per TC. He will also have with the Chinese 10, 15, 20% cheaper upgrades in the feudal castle and imperial ages. And finally, with the Chinese, we get for the team bonus 10% extra food and farms for free. Barles playing with the Gujaras will instead get with the Civilization 2 additional berry bushes spawning underneath the TC at the beginning of the game. And the ability to garrison herdables inside mills, which will generate food passively. So he's already garrisoned 6 goats over here. He's going for 2 additional goats, and he will have all 8 garrisoned. Besides that, the Gujaras get 20, 30, 40% higher bonus damage from mounted units. And for the team bonus, 25% faster training, elephant and camel type units as well. This being Kilimanjaro is probably the map you probably would have expected to see Tatars played on, but because of the extra food that they get from herdables, it did certainly make sense as well for them to make use of it. Or for him to make use of them in the previous game. Now, he's gonna be left with Gujaras. He's gonna be left with Chinese, sorry, Villese. Let's take a look at the map generation, starting with the blue player. We'll find out that he's got the main goal on the right hand side, that he's got the secondary goal up in the north, and that he's got the stones to the sides of the TC, one backish, the other one kind of forwardish. These are exposed though on the right hand side, and if we were to take a look at the possibility for walling for the blue player, we could see the walls come up like this, probably something like this. And then on the right hand side, again, just kind of build a small arena for himself. This way, he doesn't really secure any of the resources though. That's the problem. On this map, you don't want to have to bank on the walls. You want to be aggressive, and you want to keep the focus of the game around your opponent's base as opposed to your own. And that's going to be probably the same for Barles as well. Taking a look at the red player, he's got the main goal on the right hand side. Secondary goal is on the left hand side, very far away from the TC, and we have the main stone on the left. We have the secondary stone up in the north as well. That seems like about it, right? The berries are good though, they are on the back, but he doesn't have anywhere near as many woodlines. Not to say that Villese was bursting on woodlines, but he at the very least had to a little bit in a better position for him to wall himself up. Meanwhile, Barles on the other hand, Barles gonna have to go for something like, yeah, from here to here, that's not going to be too good, of course. He doesn't really secure any resources like this. And we can see that Villese is already starting to go for the walls in the way that I was maybe hoping to see. Maybe not hoping, but I was suspecting he was going to go for. Barles, interestingly enough, because of the ways that he has laid these palisades out, seems as if he's going to try to wall himself like this, by connecting the ponds and going for the walls like this instead, which is going to be pricier, but he's going to be able to secure the wood line, the gold, in addition to the berries. And yeah, the stone is probably going to end up being part of the walls. As it's often the case, whenever we are done introducing civilizations and map generations, we'll see the feudal age already on the way from both these players and Villese. This is going up on 21 population. He's gonna make a play for scouts, while Barles on the other hand, he is going up on 18 population. He's going to make a play for scouts as well. He is going up a little bit earlier. Notice, however, that Villese did get... Check this out. A beautiful 18 seconds of vital TC time with the Chinese. That is remarkable. And it might be just 1 second higher compared to the lowest that I have ever seen. I think that might have been 17 seconds. And for that one, you basically need a sheep underneath the TC. But yeah. This one is looking good. There we go, stable. Coming up now for Barles as well. Good unit control for Villese. Just trying to create some distance over here. Yeah, and he's actually walking away. A little bit faster. Standard scout compared to the camel, and Barles is going for his own scouts right now. He's had enough of this nonsense. And hey, yeah, check it out. He has gone for the walls connecting the ponds over here. This is not what I would immediately have thought of because it seems very pricey and very time consuming, but yeah, it's unfortunately the only way by which Barles is really going to be able to secure any of these resources. You know, taking a look at Villese, he has gone already for 3/4 of the wall. He just needs to connect this one up in the north, and check this out! He's going for roomier walls than I was suggesting earlier as well, actually. This way, he will secure a wood line, similarly to how Barles was able to secure a wood line, although Barles is about to run out of this one very soon. Villese seems to be in a better position as he's got 2 wood lines to collect from here. And he does end up securing, if he ends up going for the walls from the pond to the edge of the map, he does end up securing another gold over here, the secondary one, right? So that is really good for Villese. Right now, he's kept a 3-villager lead against Barles, which is nothing but incredible. Absolutely incredible. Barles coming up. Now for Villese. And Fletching. It's on the way for the bull player as well. Oh, the quick walls do not come up though for Villese. The scouts are coming in. One villager will crumble and... Yes, sir! This is now under a lot of pressure as we have the scouts, we have the camel from Barles roaming around openly around Villese's base, and Villese is getting the quick walls up over here, and just in time he manages to get the gate, he manages to get the house, he's got the archers over here putting pressure, getting damage done, getting one scout down already, and the camel scout is very low HP, so it doesn't seem like Barles will be able to get too much extra damage done, right? He's just gonna try and go after the villager over here and prevent the walls from coming up. Yeah, he's just walking away now. He's running away. He cannot do much of anything anymore in Villese. If he gets the walls up over here, then he'll finally be able to just delete these foundations and get back to more efficient working. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, Villese has been the one putting pressure himself as well with some archers, with the scout, the spearman, and Barles. Barles did end up reacting to the pressure by going for a few extra foundations himself with a house, the market. is gonna use the market to go out to the castle age right away, while Villese on the other hand, he does have the blacksmith and the archer range. I don't think he's got a market right now, so wouldn't be able to do the same, but his eco balance has been really good. Very consistent for Villese, so it doesn't seem like it's going to matter too much in the end. The will player just going to click out to the castle age by natural eco balancing, while Barles kind of needed to make use of the market over there. Villese did go for wheelbarrow as well, so that's going to have an impact on his worker count right now. He used to have a 3 worker lead against Barles. That's going to be probably the same worker count by the time both these players get the castle age, and Barles gets, you know, to go for the upgrade himself. Villese will still find himself in a pretty decent spot. He ended up losing just 1 villager. Pretty significant lead over here from Mr. Barles. Villese is trying to get the pressure going. He did push the villagers away from the foundations, and this one is very low HP, so here he comes. And Barles has gone for a tower, does not have the stone to go for a TC, so he needs to bail from the woodland. Once again, he was running out of this anyway. Yeah, and Villese's pressure over here is fantastic. Might be just 4 archers, 2 speedrun and 1 scout, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Castle Age is there for Villese. Crossman upgrade. Blocking arrows coming in as well. There we go. Second TC on the way for Villese now as well. Third TC coming up too. Barles, he is 2 workers ahead right now compared to Villese, but does not have wheelbarrow. By the time he gets it, of course, Villese does manage to get ahead in worker count again. But that is without taking into account the extra TCs. Villese, just by nature of getting the TCs up over here, just by virtue of having a higher villager production potential, is going to start pulling ahead already in Barles. He's playing with the Gujaras over here. He doesn't really want to take this into later stages against Villese civilization, it seems to me. He does have 40% extra bonus damage from mounted units in the Imperial Age, yes. But the Chinese are such a versatile civilization. I don't think Barles is going to want to be taking an engagement in later stages of the game against Villese, especially when the civilization is on Villese's hands, and that's the most important thing over here. Is not so much about the Chinese necessarily, but it's just the fact that Villese is the one playing them, right? So far, the Bull player has been able to make the most out of the civilizations he's used. This series. 30C1 tile further away from the border to be able to play his farms, please. Oh, rip. Yeah, true. I guess it's just going to mitigate that with mills. Here we are. He's getting some damage done. Market over there is gonna be a low-hanging fruit. Then in addition to that, there we go. Beautiful quick walls coming up over here for Villese. Not gonna be enough though, the Shrivanshas are still here. Villese needs to go for a few extra camels. But yeah, in addition to the market going down, he's taking some of the farms. He's already gotten 120 worth of resource damage, worth of resource done. He's going for one more. 60 more over there, and well, Villese does end up taking a few villager losses. Mind you, it doesn't seem like it's going to matter too much. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Blood will make excellent fertilizer, increasing the farm production, right? There we go. Second PC is coming up in the north for Barles, but this is so much later compared to Vilese's extra TCs. We have seen already Archer production come up even after triple TC. Villager production begins in previous series, and Villese has gone for that this time around, in addition to some camels over here. So he's got to split his resources, right? He can go for a lot of one thing, so he's going for a little bit of both, a few archers, a few camels, while keeping production of villagers going still, and that way he's been able to get ahead by 16 villagers while still being the one putting pressure and forcing a reaction from Barles. Now Barles does end up getting another few villagers over here, but doesn't seem like it's going to be anywhere near enough damage, as Villese is still about 13 workers ahead. It's coming in. This could be good, but Barles got a lot of camels over there. Should be able to take care of the camels from Villese. The crossbows will be a different issue though. So here comes Barles. He deletes the palaces. He's got some Shrivansha riders, and that's gonna be much better against the crossbows. Unit control extremely important right now, as Barles, of course, is gonna want to take the engagement with his camels against the camels from Villese, and with his Shrivansha rider against the crossbows. Meanwhile, Villese will want to take the Shrivansha down right away, so he can make use of his crossbows against the camels. And Barles recognizes he cannot really take a proper engagement over there, so he bails. To be fair, Villese was not feeling too confident himself, he bails too. But he does go for a 40C on top of the Kilimanjaro though, on top of the mount. And Barles does end up getting a conversion here. There we go. Beautiful. Man, that was not a pretty engagement for Barles. Villese comes out on top decisively, and Barles goes on to just call it GG. He's like, get me out of here. I don't want to keep on doing this anymore. And Villese will gladly accept the second point in the series to get a 2-0 lead against Barles. We'll see who comes out on top in game number 3. But Villese is looking great. Villese is looking great. 2-0 already. And the NKD is a little bit better for Barles, exactly 41 to 40. But of course, is not the best position for Barles, given that Vilese's economy was so much stronger, collecting about, what is that, 3,400 extra resources, 3,434 extra resources. While for society, Villese managed to get a villager max count of 90 after training 97 villagers throughout the game, losing 7 of those. Meanwhile, Barles lost a single villager throughout the game, but was on a much lower worker count anyway, of course, and Villese just dominated. There is no sugarcoat in this. Villese absolutely dominated. So, here we find ourselves in front of a 2-0 series favoring Villese against a player who is gonna have to play game number 3 just for the point, just for the game, when the match is already lost. And is this going to have an impact on Barles? Well, he's got, I don't want to say nothing to lose, because if he loses the game, then he doesn't even get the point, right? But he's already lost a series, so we'll see if he's gonna be a little bit more risk prone over here, or if he's going to be more risk averse. For game number 3, Villese is going to be in the blue color, playing on the right hand side with Bohemians, while Barles is in the red color, playing on the left hand side as Bengalis. We have Fortress as the venue for the last game of the series, and Villese with his civilization will get free mining camp upgrades. He's going to have, in addition to that, access to chemistry and hand cannoneer in the castle age, in addition to 25% higher bonus damage from spear line units against, well, enemy units, right? 25% higher bonus damage from spear line units, period. On top of all of that, the Bohemians will also have Sanctity and Fervor affect villagers. They will get a 100 wood discount on blacksmiths and universities, in addition to, for the team bonus, 80% faster working markets. Barles, on the other hand, playing with the Bengalis instead, is going to have +3/+3 armor on monks. He's gonna get elephants that take 25% less bonus damage and have some conversion resistance. In addition to that, the Bengalis will also get 2 additional villagers per TC whenever reaching a new age, right? So going up to the feudal age is going to give them 2 extra villagers from the existing TC, and then they also have HP regeneration on ships, but that's not relevant over here. The team bonus for the Bengalis will, however, the map for Barles is great. Yeah, we'll take a look at that in a moment. For the team bonus for the Bengalis, we are going to have also a bonus that is precisely for team games. So let's take a look at the map generation for Mr. Villese. It's very close to the edge of the map, so it shouldn't be too difficult for him to wall towards the edge of the map and potentially secure some of the wall lines, right? Something like getting the walls from here to here. This is already closed, right? Will allow him to secure this, secure this, secure this as well. And then all of his resources are going to be fine. The map generation on this map is not quite as important in the sense of the minerals being exposed or being on the back, because of the towers over here providing extra protection, and you're already starting with the castle, right? But it's good. It's good for Villese because he should be able to get the walls up, extend those to the edge of the map, and secure some extra wood lines in any case. Barles, on the other hand, he does have the goal further back compared to Villese. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference, but it's good. And oh, this is actually really nice. If he does get the walls from here to the edge of the map, he secures 2 additional resources. That is absolutely fantastic, in addition to the wall line, in addition to the wall line over here and over here as well. So yeah, if he just secures this, or it doesn't even need to be that much, he can just go for the walls from here to the wall line, right? That's already going to secure it. I think the wall line is connected to the edge of the map. Let's see. It's not. Yeah, it's not. Castle is on the way now for Barles. A little bit later though, compared to Villese. Did you guys see, by the way, the Nations Cup show matches? They've been taking place. There was one like a couple days ago, I think. There was one today, I think, earlier, 15 GMT or so, between Argentina and Chile. I have not really been keeping track of that too much, and it's not something that I would deem very high priority for me right now in terms of content, but I'm very curious. Have you seen it? Did you like it? What do you think about the settings of the tournament? So after the Ratha Rush fails, what will Bengalis do? Well, I don't know. After Barles fails to do any damage, then I don't know what Barles is going to do. Villese has just dominated the first 2 games, and he's got a fantastic civilization for game number 3. I don't really know what Barles is really planning to go for over here, but his civilization is certainly, I don't think, going to be necessarily the limiting factor based on what we have seen in terms of performance from the players. Castle is here for Villese. Second TC on the way. Yes, sir. Third TC on the way. Yes, sir. Monastery. I like this version of Fortress. Other ranked Fortress map, Castle, usually at the back of your base. TNT was made. Good job. Yeah. Yeah. They did put a lot of thought into this version of Fortress. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the changes over here get adopted by the game. It seems to be pretty good. And the 30C is coming in. There you go. Barles, on the other hand, he's got the second TC on the way. And the third TC is not coming up anytime soon. He does not have enough wood for it. And he's starting to go for the Rathas right now. He went for the monastery. He's got the monk. He's got the monk. He does not have a tournament yet, though. He's trying to get a conversion, and this could be really good. We see the scout coming up right now. We notice the target switch over here from Barles, allow him to get the scout at the very last second now. He's just trying to carry the relic back home. That was really well played from Barles. It was kind of a high-risk game because he could have converted the spearman over there, but he was able to switch targets at the last second. That was fantastic. Really well played. I guess he was probably waiting until Villese brought the scout over to try and take the monk down, right, before retargeting. Regardless though, Barles is now the player with the most military units out in the open. He's got scouts to counter Villese's monks. He's got the Rathas to roam around and potentially protect the relics as well. So we have up in the north 3 relics still out for grabs, which will be guarded by Barles by the looks of it. And there is still 1 down south up for grabs as well. Barles, he's got 3 monks, so he's gonna try and make a play for as many relics as possible. He's sending 1 monk down the south already. He's got another monk going up in the north. And where is the 3rd monk, actually? So I see 1 over here. I see 1 down the south, and the other one's up in the north. Oh yeah, he's sending both monks up in the north. He's gonna try to collect 2 relics at the same time. Well, this is going to be interesting for sure. What is the HP situation of the scouts? 1 is half HP, so he's being cautious about spearman. And he was waiting for his own monk to come over so that he can convert the spearman and then take the monks down, right? So here comes Barles. He's getting the spearman with the conversion, and now Villese does not losing 1 monk over there, and that's going to be another monk going down. The conversion connects for the red player, and a beautiful play from Barles results in 1 additional relic under his wing. That's gonna be the third relic he's collecting as he's taking the second one back home, and then up in the north, he still has 2 relics up for grabs, but he's focusing on securing these first, and that was really well played from Barles. There we go. He will end up taking this one. Yes, sir. Beautiful. He's going to end up collecting them all. Meanwhile, Villese did manage to get a 3 worker lead. Again, the TC is up a little bit earlier, but it's not the lead that I was expecting to see from the blue player, given how much earlier he was going for the TCs, and given the fact that right now he is on 4 TCs, you would expect the lead to be significantly larger right now for Villese. Well, he's gonna keep on building upon it though. All 4 TCs working? No problem. If someone asks me what is Villese's most unique gameplay style, my answer must be when he reaches Castle Age. No matter what, he has 2 TCs. Well, he has gone for the 3rd TC right now, even the 4th TC, 3rd additional TC, right? And yeah, it's allowing him to get a little bit of an equal lead over here, but just by a little bit. Here we go. Barles is going out to the Imperial Age already, Villese. Not so much. He will go for a 4 castle though. There we go. The atonement upgrades coming in. It's coming in handy right now as Barles ends up losing the monks over there. All 3 of them get converted right away. And Villese still really cannot get a castle up forward so long as the Wraths are here, so it's gonna wait for the conversions to come up once again. What is the fate situation of the monks? Just 1, but he does get the conversion though, and the rest of the monks are recharging right now, so they will restore their faith in just a moment. So Villese does have the confidence right now that he needs, does have the guarantees that he needs right now to get the castle up on the hill. But Barles going out to the Imperial Age so much earlier and going for another castle himself, he's gonna find himself on 2 castles with the possibility of producing 2 trebuchets before Villese gets to the Imperial Age himself, so that should put Barles still in a better position in terms of defenses. However, Villese's 4 TC play, 5 TC play right now actually, is starting to pay off big time as he's already getting close to 15 extra workers compared to Barles. There we are. Yeah, 17 extra workers right now compared to Barles. University and Siege Workshop coming in for Villese, but Barles, he's got into the Imperial Age, so he's got 1 trebuchet on the way, and this castle comes up. Another trebuchet gets queued up. And once again, Villese will get to the Imperial Age when Barles is already putting pressure against this castle with a few trebuchets. Beautiful. Trebuchets are already deploying. Barles It's going for 2 on the swordsman. Okay. I guess... What? Just expecting full pikeman play over here from Villese. But 2 on the swordsman and nothing else? Seems so weird. This is getting chemistry. So I could go for hand cannoneer. Honestly, just the monks could potentially be quite effective against the 2 on the swordsman. And Barles seems to be making a play for champion. Here we go, the conversions are coming up, and many of the 2 on the swordsmen are getting converted indeed. Villese might still end up losing the castle, mind you. There we go. But should be able to counter this pretty easily eventually. He's finally making a transition to hand cannoneer. There we go. Yeah, they don't get the last armor. The Bengalis. Yeah, fantastic forecast coming in for Barles as well. This is only working out if he's able to clean Villese's units up over here, and that might not actually be quite as possible. We see the villagers over there stepping on the foundations, and Villese. Where are the hand cannoneer though? Where are the units? Seem to be completely out of position, Villese. Oh, he doesn't have really that many. He's got only 5. For a moment over there, I mixed up the queue versus the actual amount of hand cannoneers. So 2 on the swordsman over here actually working really well. Barles is gonna start going for backing arrow as well. So what is the plan for Villese? Barles in the end did not go for the Ratha push. Although I was also wrong in saying when Barles' push. I'm not talking necessarily about Ratha's fails. What is he going to do? Because right now his push is actually not failing at all. It's working really well. It's forcing a reaction from Villese, who's going for theocracy. He's going for plate mail armor, actually. Blocking arrow right now. So what is the plan right here for Villese? It's got a bunch of archer ranges, so we know the hand cannoneer are still coming. And plate bar the number is going to be for the halberdier. But against 2 on swordsmen, well, obviously the halberdier are not going to work. The hand cannoneer will be good. He's gonna need a good amount. Right now he's got 13 in Barles. Barles is starting to go for the Ratha, so he's got a meat shield, and then he's gonna work out of that with the Rathas. And Villese seems to be trying to build a little bit of an answer to that possibility, but the hand cannoneer are only going to work against the 2 on the swordsman. They are not going to work against the Rathas. But to see an actual infantry play, rather than as a counter to something specific. Yeah, I mean, I guess he saw the pikeman push, right? The pikeman play over here, and decided to go for the 2 on the swordsman as an answer to that, to have a meat shield for the Rathas to work out of. And now he's going for elite Ratha, so it is going to be a Ratha and 2-handed swordsman push from Barles, while Villese is gonna try and make a play for halberdier, Huvnitsa, and hand cannoneer. Now that's going to be extremely expensive. We'll see if he can make it work for the time being. He's got just bombard cannons coming out. He's not going for Huvnitsa yet. It doesn't have siege engineers yet. Barles, he's got conscription, ring archer armor. Taking a look at the red player, does not have siege engineers yet. Gonna go after the second castle over here from Villese. And here come the Rathas. Good unit control. Beautiful. With ballistics. Thumri already, and... Oh, he doesn't have Thumri actually, but Parthan tactics coming in. Yeah, that's certainly going to help. Champion upgrade on the way now for Barles as well, guys. Blast Furnace. That's gonna make the melee Rathas and the champion that much stronger. And Barles got pikes on the way. Interesting. That is going to make the Rathas attack 20% faster. Rathas, and there's another unit. I think elephant type units attack faster, right? With pikes. Let me check. Yeah, Rathas and elephant units attack 20% faster. This is really good. Scat Siege Engineers coming up now. Villese hasn't gotten it yet. Seems to be saving the resource to go for Pivnica instead. And Barles has got a good amount of champions. I'm not really sure exactly what he's waiting for. It's got the champions in the back over here. I thought it was meant to be a meat shield. And there we are. Pivnica's on the way for Villese. We have siege elephants on the way too. And up in the north, Barles seems to be thinking of going for some raids as he's got some sneaky stables on the way. But yeah, he's kind of run out of steam a little bit. He's got a good amount of units, right? It's gonna get to 200 population very soon, but he stopped pushing. He stopped pushing. He does not have too much momentum anymore. Was he waiting for Villese to get a counter push going over here before sending the trebuchets forward so that he knew that Pivnica were not going to prevent the trebuchets from getting the fortifications down? That could very well be the case, and you know what? You know what, guys? The king is here. The king is here, and Barles got mobility. He could just been a few units away from this army. Try to go after the king right away if he gets the castle down. If he gets the castle down, then Villese, if he's not paying attention over here, actually end up leaving the king exposed. Yeah, you know, there we go. Villese is paying attention. Not so much. Not so much. The king is going up in the north. The tower over there is already populated by skirmishers, so he's gonna need to empty the tower before he has room for the king, or at the very least remove some of the units over there. And Barles is coming over. Does he have vision of this though? And Pivnica's there. Yes. He's taking the trebuchets down. He's got a castle down as well. But here on the right hand side, Barles does not have vision of the king, but he's getting some light cavalry in. If he comes in just a few extra tiles, he's going to realize about the king. Meanwhile, Villese, he knows about the king. Is he going to do it though? Barles, is he paying attention? Are the Rathas going to take the king? Doesn't even try it. Oh my lord, up in the north, there is a sneaky castle company with 2 villagers that Villese is already aware of but has not reacted to. And I'm still surprised that Barles is not taking the opportunity. It's right there. He must not have been paying too much attention. So now he's coming in. He's got melee mode for the Pivnica. That is not a lot of units. This is something that I have talked about several times. Because of the large size of the Rathas Pride, players get tricked into thinking they have more units than they do, and that was not good. Well, maybe not tricked into, because when you select, you can still see, right? But it certainly gives you the illusion that you have a much more powerful army, a much mightier army than you actually do. And that was not the case, so he gets cleaned up over there. If you want to take the engagement over there, he would need a comparable amount of units compared to what Villese had. So he kind of wasted the chance over there, and Barles could have taken the game probably already if he had taken the king already, assuming that Villese was not paying attention over there on time. And you know, if Villese did not realize about the king over here being exposed, then Barles should have had enough time to just send all the Rathas in and snipe it with one volley. Yeah, anyway, Barles' population over here starts to crumble, while Villese on the other hand is stabilizing himself finds himself in a very good spot. Count your lucky stars moment for Villese so far. Danger is far from over. Yeah, so long as he doesn't realize about this, the king could very well end up getting sniped anyway, right? Like, Barles is very frequently sending units in. So it's a matter of time until Barles realizes about it himself. He's got champions now, once again, trying to get out the 200 population one more time. Barles has also got a Mahayana, which reduces population space from villages by 10%, so they are going to leave more room for military, and the Hunita over here doing a really good job against champions. Beautiful. Push. Yeah, that is not even close. Barles cannot just play defensively like this. The Hunita are going to eat him alive. And the monks, the king's still there for Villese, by the way. Here we go. Yeah, the Rathas are not mighty enough over here. Once again, Barles is not getting the numbers he needs. It's a unit that's going to be effective once you mass them in a similar fashion to the Mangudai, with the exception that they are not quite as effective as Mangudai in lower numbers. From what I have seen so far, so Barles, if he's gonna commit to the Rathas, he needs to get definitely a lot more out than this. He's got 3 castles and he's producing from 2 only, so that's not going to help too much. He's using them in the range stance versus skirmishers. He deserves to lose them. Yeah, he cannot approach the skirmishers because of the halberdier, but the champion are not working out because of the Hunita control from Villese. Has done a really good job of reducing the champions, so they are not really that effective against the skirmishers and the halberdier anyway. And Barles doesn't really seem to have much of a choice, right? He's going after the Hunita and he gets 1 down. He gets 2 down, but once again he ends up losing. Oh my lord, ends up losing so many units over here that it's not. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Barles is still just bleeding units out, and he's the one puncturing himself. Like, he's pricking himself and drawing blood. Yeah, and this is not good for Barles. Villese, guys, still very close to 200 population. It's gonna be able to stay there for the most part. Kind of locked. And Barles, on the other hand, ends up getting pushed away from the 4th castle he was trying to go. He's not managed to make the Rathas work. And indeed, working in range mode against the skirmishers is not going to be good, and he cannot go for melee because of the halberdier. And Villese's unit control has been really good, preventing the champion from actually countering the halberdier and the skirmishers over here just by making use of the Hunita. It's only a matter of time until Villese gets the momentum he needs to push Barles out. And if the red player, yeah, had paid attention over here just a few minutes ago, the game could have been very well over right there. But now Villese has done a really good job. He's gotten the walls up once again. And he still does not realize about the king, though. Beautiful. Barles gets a 200 population once again against all odds and Villese. Villese is going to have very soon an issue collecting gold. If you take a look at the minimap, around the fortresses, Barles seems to have some more map presence. If we take a look, he's going to be the only player with access to this eventually. He's got the control over here by the archer ranges and the stables to prevent Villese from getting there. And then we have only 2 golds left. This one is inaccessible for Villese. This one is going to run out very soon. He's got 108. And this one, Villese is collecting from, but Barles has already realized about, and Barles is collecting from once again himself as well. So that's going to be about 900 resources. Heavily contested. Meanwhile, this is going to be pretty much free for Barles. And this is going to be so as well. So what is the thing over here? What is the problem? Barles has been struggling big time to make the gold units work. So while he does have access to gold still, significant amount of gold, it doesn't really guarantee that he's going to be getting ahead anytime soon. Villese, on the other hand, Villese has been kind of relying on gold himself though, because of the Humnitsa, to stay safe against Barles' push. But yeah, even without the Humnitsa, he's done a really good job microing his Halberdier and Skirmishers to counter the Ratha. So Barles gonna need to go for something else here. Hey, there we go. Now Villese realized. And where is the king actually? It's gotta be here somewhere. He garrisoned it? He didn't garrison it. Where's the king? Oh! Sneaky play from Villese. Check this out. Sneaky king over there. The moment Barles patrols, the king dies. But up until that point, like if Barles is trying to actively snipe the king's not going to realize about it. Nice. But here come the Rathas though. Here come the Rathas. It was the king. Don't go. Fuck. He's not realizing about it! Of course, consciously, he won't ever see that king. The outline is just too hard to spot, but if he just let the Ratha stuck on their own, maybe they would have taken it. And Villese is definitely risking it over here. I don't think this is a big brain play from Villese, just trying to be cheeky about this. I think he didn't realize about it. Now he does, and now he's going to send the king into the TC or the castle somewhere. He's actually bringing it back, but eventually he's going to garrison it. I think he probably just didn't realize and probably maybe out garrisoned the king from somewhere else and it ended up there. Or maybe he just selected it, sparked up a bunch of other units and he ended up there. That is not the best engagement for Barles over here. Does end up losing a lot of light cavalry, just a cemetery. Cavalry over here for Barles, as Villese still manages to keep all the Humnitsa alive, and he's gonna take the castle down, right? And bring the Barles castle count down to 2. As the red player is unable to get this one up. Not yet though. Humnitsa going down to the Rathas. Fantastic raids from Barles. He's holding on over here for a lot longer than I thought he was going to. Earlier, after he failed to take the king underneath the tower here, I thought Barles was kind of done for. Villese was getting so much better trades, and he was actually pushing Barles back, but then he kind of ran out of momentum, and Barles was able to catch back up once again. And ever since, it's been a power talk here. The players trading blows pretty evenly and staying at pretty close population. Barles is still behind by about 15 population, but nothing that a minute or 2 of production is not going to fix, right? Is there a mod that highlights kings like the exclamation mark for idle villagers? I imagine there is. I am not aware of it, but it shouldn't be too difficult to make one in any case. There we go. Barles is not really collecting the extra golds, by the way. He's got 3 villages over here. And 450. Gold left in that gold mine. Maybe this is still struggling big time though to keep the production going. Overall population still somewhat close, and this is going to stay extremely inefficient for Barles, but it doesn't matter. The power play over here ends up working out. As Barles gets the first point in the series, it's going to be 2-1. He was playing for the points over here, and he does end up making it work. In the end, it wasn't Barles' rapid push failing over here. Actually, it worked out pretty well. It was just pretty rough about the middle or so. So predictions were kind of off. And Barles does end up making it work in the end. Villese gets 2 games over here and gets the series still, so gets the best result. But Barles, at the very least, does manage to get 1 point. So let's go and take a look at the achievements. Dr.V for Barles. It's going to be about 9-8 for economy. We have a stronger economy for Barles as well. Ended up collecting about 10,000 extra resources, which is fantastic. And for society, a much higher work count for Barles towards the end of the game. And I am pretty curious if this accounts for... Let me take a look at this. 120... 131. So this does not take into... This actually takes into account the actual units, not the population space, right? So this is actually a very good indication of Barles' lead for sure. All right, well done.